My pregnant wife whispered, "We don't need him anymore." So I threw her a party she'd never forget. Hi, I'm Mitchell, 32, and 5 months ago, I was planning a nursery, rubbing my wife's feet, and Googling diaper brands. Today, I'm divorced, childless, and known online as the guy who exposed his pregnant wife with a PowerPoint presentation at a gender reveal party. But let me tell you something. I almost raised a child that wasn't mine. I almost signed my future away to a woman who saw me as a walking wallet. And it all started the day, came home early with a headache and heard her say, "Once the baby comes, we don't need him anymore." That Thursday afternoon, I'd left work early. My boss could tell I wasn't feeling it, head pounding, vision fuzzy. I was halfway through a product launch for a new e-commerce app and planning to catch a nap before the next day's team meeting. I walked in through the garage, like always, quiet. Thought maybe she was napping, but then heard her voice. My wife, Lisa, was on the phone. She was in the kitchen, didn't hear me come in. I was about to say, "Hey," when I caught her tone soft, conspiratorial. The kind she only used with her sister, Becca. I paused in the hallway. "Once the baby comes, we don't need him anymore." I froze. At first, I thought maybe I'd misheard. But then she kept going. "The house is half mine. I'll get child support. Probably alimony. He makes good money." This is the smart play. Backed into the hallway like it was a crime scene. She was planning her exit. Planning to use the baby, my baby, as a financial anchor. Or so I thought. Then came the kicker. Of course, he thinks it's his. Why wouldn't he? The timing lined up perfectly. I've been perfect. I felt my world tilt. The man she was talking about, the actual father, had been around for over a year apparently. Some guy who made her feel alive. Lisa had calculated everything. And I was the patsy in the plan. The fall guy with the salary. I sat in my car for an hour, numb. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't cry. I just kept hearing it over and over again. Of course, he thinks it's his. That night, I went back inside like nothing had happened. I smiled. I ate dinner. She showed me a new onesie that said, "Mommy's little man," and I nodded like a man watching his own funeral in slow motion. But I had a plan. Not revenge. Truth. And truth needed witnesses. The next morning, called a lawyer. Not to file for divorce yet, but to understand my options. I laid everything out. What I heard. What she said. That the baby might not be mine. That she was planning to leave me once the child was born, and she had financial leverage. The lawyer's advice was simple and brutal. If she's planning this, you need to be smarter. Don't confront her. Document everything. And yes, get a paternity test. Quietly. Turns out, prenatal paternity testing has come a long way. Non-invasive. Totally safe. All they need is her blood and my DNA. The catch? It's expensive. $1,500. But considering what was at stake, 18 years of child support, losing my house, my life, it felt like a bargain. I told Lisa I'd booked us a private 3D ultrasound. Said it was a surprise. A little splurge for us as first-time parents. She got all emotional. Hugged me. "You're the best," she whispered. If only she knew. The clinic was 3 towns over. Looked like a boutique ultrasound studio on the outside. But inside it was all lab techs and legal forms. I'd already submitted my DNA. They took her blood. Gave us a cute picture of the baby boy. "Yep, it's a boy," and said results would be in within 2 weeks. She was glowing the entire ride home. Talking about baby showers, names, onesies, a blue-themed nursery. I listened. I nodded. I smiled. I was the perfect husband. But I didn't sleep for those 2 weeks. Not really. I'd lie beside her at night and just stare, wondering who the real father was. Wondering if he knew. Wondering if he even cared. The day the envelope arrived, I sat in my car with it unopened for 30 minutes. Then I read it. Oh, probability of paternity. I wasn't the father. The numbers stared up at me like a death sentence. Except, I wasn't dead. Not yet. In fact, I was very much alive, and now I had clarity. Lisa had planned a reveal party. She kept dropping hints. We should do a big one. With smoke. Like Karen and Jason did. And I said what she wanted to hear. "You're right. Let's go all out." I rented a venue. Booked a caterer. Ordered blue smoke cannons. Invited everyone. Her parents, siblings, cousins, co-workers. My family, too. About 80 people in total. Told them it was going to be the happiest day of our lives, and it would be for me. I also rented a projector, said it was for a montage, a little baby video I'd put together. In truth, it was a slide deck. Title page, paternity results, baby boy last name, page 2, probability of paternity, 000, pages 3 through 6, legal confirmation, charts, graphs, a notarized affidavit from the clinic. Lisa had no idea. The night before the party, she couldn't sleep. She kept giggling, talking about baby games and name tags, and team boy versus team girl. She kissed me, told me how lucky she felt. "You're going to be such a good dad," she whispered. I kissed her forehead and whispered, "Can't wait." Saturday came. Everyone showed up dressed in yellow and green neutral tones, per Lisa's instructions. The photographer snapped pictures. Her dad gave a little speech about becoming a grandfather. My mom cried. Then the countdown, 3, 2, 1, boom. Blue smoke everywhere, cheers, screams, tears. Lisa clutched her belly, cried, "It's a boy," and hugged her mom. I waited a few seconds, let the moment breathe. Then I grabbed the mic. "Before we cut the cake, I have one more surprise." The projector lit up behind me. Lisa turned confused, still smiling, until she read the first slide, and the silence hit like a freight train. The slide read, "Paternity results baby boy redacted. Probability of paternity." Oh, you could hear the air leave the room. Lisa's smile froze. Her mother gasped. Her father muttered, "What the hell is this?" I held the mic with both hands, calm as ever. "That's a prenatal paternity test," I said. "Non-invasive. Completely safe for the baby. Done at a certified lab 3 weeks ago." "The results? That baby is not mine." Lisa turned to me, wide with horror. This isn't funny," she stammered. "Stop it. It's not a joke," I said. "I've got 4 more slides for you." Click. Slide 2. Clinical documentation. Full data readout. Slide 3. Affidavit from the lab. Signed. Notarized. Slide 4. Phone records. Her number texting the same unknown number 10 to 15 times per day for over a year. Slide 5. A simple question. "Lisa, who's really the father?" That was the moment. Her whole body seemed to collapse inward. She looked around, desperate for someone to stop this, to rescue her. Her sister Becca rushed forward, yelling, "You're humiliating her. She's pregnant, you monster." I clicked to the final slide. A cropped version of the phone bill showing Lisa's number and the other guy's. Thousands of texts. Late nights. Long calls. Repeated over 12 months. "I'm not humiliating her," said into the mic. "I'm just giving her the celebration she asked for. A party with all our loved ones." A big reveal. Her mom broke into tears. Her dad just stared at the screen, pale. My own brother stepped forward and put a hand on my shoulder. "Dude, is this real?" "Every word," I said. "Every number, every test. This baby isn't mine." And she's known that the entire time. Lisa lunged toward me then, grabbing the mic, pleading, "Mitchell, please, we can talk." "Not here. Please, not like this." I took a step back, avoiding her touch. "Not like this? Lisa, you were going to divorce me after the birth. You told your sister the plan. Child support, half the house, alimony. That's what this was. A setup." But I found out in time. She covered her face. Someone ushered her into a chair. Her mother tried to console her, but even she looked shaken. Then I turned back to the crowd. "On Monday, I'll be filing for divorce. Papers are ready. I've already changed the locks. Lisa won't be returning to our house." From the back, my lawyer stepped forward, folder in hand. "Here are the documents," he said quietly, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. "Prenuptial agreement. Filed this week." Lisa's sister exploded again. "You did all this over a test? Maybe it's wrong. Maybe," cut her off. "There's a post-birth test coming too. But this one's 99.99% accurate. The clinic stands by it. Lisa knows it. She's just hoping I'll blink." I didn't. People started leaving. Fast. Aunts, cousins, coworkers, like rats off a sinking ship. My family stayed quiet, but close. Her family? Torn. Her dad walked out. Her mom stayed. Her sister stood by her, yelling, blaming me. But I didn't care, because when I walked out of that venue, I didn't just walk away from a party, I walked out of a lie, a trap, a future that never should have existed. And Lisa? She got the party she always wanted, just not the ending she imagined. The next morning, I turned my phone back onto a digital wildfire. 90 missed calls, hundreds of texts, Lisa's number at the top, over and over. One voicemail after another, from her mom, her sister, even people I barely knew, coworkers, a distant cousin of hers, a bridesmaid from our wedding, hadn't seen in years, all begging, all accusing, all screaming. One message stuck out. Her father, "You think you're a man because you embarrassed my daughter in front of everyone? You're going to regret this. We'll see you in court, right? Court." Funny how nobody had anything to say when Lisa was planning to scam me into fatherhood and financial ruin. But now that I said, "Here's the truth," suddenly I'm the villain. Lisa left over a dozen voicemails, some tearful, others defensive. "Mitchell, I was confused. We can fix this. You can still be part of the baby's life. It was one mistake. It doesn't mean I don't love you." One mistake? She'd said the other guy made her feel alive. That once the baby came, they didn't need me. That she had played me. I didn't respond. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. By Monday morning, Lisa had been officially served. My lawyer said she tried to dodge the process server, then cried when she realized it was real. She called me again, left a voicemail that ended with, "You're ruining everything." I was. And I was doing it deliberately. That same day, her lawyer reached out. They wanted to negotiate. Lisa wanted spousal support, half the house, medical expenses covered. My silence-me lawyer actually laughed on the call. "She committed paternity fraud," he said. "We have documentation. She gets nothing." But there was a twist. Because of the state we live in, I'm legally presumed the father until a post-birth paternity test confirms otherwise. Prenatal test? It's strong evidence, but not bulletproof in court until birth. So I had to wait 3 more months, until the baby was born, then demand a court-ordered DNA test, then file to remove my name from the birth certificate. 3 more months of holding the line. In the meantime, I changed the locks, closed our joint account, redirected all my paychecks to my personal one, canceled every shared credit card. Lawyer said I could, everything was in my name anyway. When Lisa showed up with her sister demanding to get her things, I called my attorney. He had a legal observer sent to supervise. She cried the entire time she packed. Asked me, "Why are you doing this?" I didn't answer. I just watched her walk out the door with half a suitcase and no idea how real consequences worked. Right before leaving, she turned and said, "I really did love you." I finally spoke. "No," I said. "You loved what I could give you. There's a difference." And then I closed the door. That night, I sat alone in the house. The nursery still half finished. Blue wall paint, a crib in the corner. I stared at it for a long time. I almost built a life around a lie. Almost raised another man's child. Almost handed over my heart, my money, my future for someone who smiled while planning to gut me like a fish. But I didn't. I caught her. And now had 3 more months to make sure she never got a second chance. The fallout came faster than I expected. 3 days after Lisa moved out, her father showed up at my door, pounding, screaming, "You think this is over? You humiliated her in front of everyone. You destroyed our family." I didn't open the door, just called the police. When the officers arrived, he started yelling about how I was abusive, that I'd abandoned a pregnant woman, that I was refusing to provide for my child. The cops took our statements, then politely told him to get off the property or risk trespassing charges. He left with the promise, "This isn't the end." He was right. It was the middle. That same week, Lisa's mother launched a campaign of guilt calls. Not to me though, to my family. She called my mother, who's the nicest woman alive, and said, "You raised a coward. How could you let your son abandon his wife in her time of need?" My mom, bless her, said, "Your daughter tried to trick my son into raising another man's baby. I think you've got things backwards." My brother texted me screenshots of messages Lisa's sister posted on social media. Some men show their true colors when things get hard. Abandoning your pregnant wife just because biology got messy? Shameful. I said nothing. I posted nothing. My lawyer had made that crystal clear. No online arguments. No side of the story. Just documentation and silence. But then, Lisa slipped. She responded to one of her sister's vague sympathy posts with, "Biology doesn't matter as much as love and commitment." One of her mutuals replied, "Wait, are you saying the baby isn't his?" She deleted the comment within an hour. But screenshots? They're forever. My lawyer added it to the folder. Then came her next move. She waited for me in the parking lot outside my office. I came out late. Saw her standing by my car, 6 months pregnant, wearing the jacket I bought her last Christmas. With tears in her eyes and desperation in her posture. "We need to talk," she said. I didn't stop walking. "Please, just 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking." I gave her 3. "Made a mistake," she started. I was scared. I panicked. "But I never stopped loving you. We can fix this." "No, Lisa, we can't. It's just." The other guy backed out. He doesn't want to be involved. He says the baby could be anyone's. "That's your problem," I said. "Not mine. We could try again. Pretend this never happened." I almost laughed. "You want me to raise his kid? After you plotted to divorce me? After you called me predictable and boring, and said I'd never question it?" I was angry. "I didn't mean yes, you did." I looked her dead in the eye. "You meant every word. I heard you." She started crying. Not little tears, big, shoulder-shaking sobs. She reached out to touch my arm. I stepped back. "I'm scared," she whispered. "So was I," I said. When I sat in a parking lot holding a DNA report that proved my whole life was a lie. And then I got in my car and left. The next day, her lawyer filed a motion to contest the divorce, claiming I was being unnecessarily cruel and had no grounds for a fault-based separation. My lawyer responded with paternity test results, her own statements, transcribed from phone calls, the social media posts, a motion to prevent her from putting my name on the birth certificate, and a formal request that she pay all legal fees due to fraud. It was ironclad. But the kicker? She still tried to list me as the father at her next prenatal visit, claimed it was easier that way. My lawyer filed another injunction the same day. At this point, I wasn't angry anymore. I was surgical. Every call she made, every move she tried, every lie she posted, I logged it, time-stamped it, forwarded it. She was flailing. I was done. Only one thing left now. Wait. 3 more months, then the baby would be born, then the real test would come, and I'd be there with the court order in hand, ready to erase every last trace of the lie she built around me. The day the baby was born, I didn't get a call. Not from Lisa, not from her family. I found out through a text from her cousin. "He's here. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. No name yet. No name yet." But I knew what name wouldn't be on that birth certificate, mine. Because at a.m. the next morning, my lawyer was already at the courthouse filing for a court-ordered postnatal paternity test, armed with the prenatal results, the injunction, and a paper trail longer than her lies. That same afternoon, Lisa's lawyer caved. No resistance. "No, let's talk." They knew. The court-appointed lab swabbed me, swabbed the baby, and 48 hours later, the results came back. Probability. Final. Absolute. Irrefutable. Lisa was notified through her attorney. Mine submitted the results immediately, along with a motion to formally remove me from any legal paternity assumption, support obligation, or certificate inclusion. 2 days later, the court signed off. I was free. Notis. No child support, no parental rights, no financial obligations, no name on paper, no fatherhood fraud, just silence. Lisa didn't reach out. Her parents didn't call. Even her sister had gone dark. Then I found out why. Turns out Lisa had gone back to the real father, tried to pin him down with the truth now out in the open, but he denied her, said the kid could be anyone's, said she tricked him too, said he wasn't ready to be a dad. Apparently, she begged, threatened, even mentioned a paternity suit, and when he finally relented, he demanded a DNA test for himself. He got the same result I did, except opposite. 99.9 match. He's the father now. On the birth certificate. Paying support. Trapped. They tried being a couple. For the baby. Lasted 6 weeks. Now he's gone. And Lisa, she's living back at her parents' place. Her mom finally stopped calling my family. Her dad hasn't shown up to scream at my door since the cops warned him. And me? I sleep through the night now. A week after the court confirmed I was legally free, I walked into the nursery for the first time in months. The walls were still baby blue, the crib untouched. A mobile with little cartoon planets spun lazily in the air-conditioned silence. I stood there for maybe 10 minutes. Then I picked up the crib mattress, carried it to the garage, and kept going one load at a time. Clothes, bottles, books, stuffed animals. All of it. By nightfall, the nursery was empty. A blank room again. The next day, I donated everything. I didn't want a single piece of her plan left in that house. Then I started painting. A deep, grounding green. Replaced the mobile with a minimalist lamp. Swapped the rocking chair for a desk. The nursery became an office. My space. My terms. That room had once represented everything I thought my future would be. Now, it was proof I could survive the fire and build again. Lisa tried to get in touch one last time. Through a letter, handwritten, slid under my front door. It was 3 pages long, mostly apologies wrapped in self-pity. She talked about fear, pressure, how she lost herself, how I was the only man who ever truly loved her. At the bottom, she wrote, "I still believe we could have made a beautiful family." I folded the letter once, dropped it in the shredder, and never thought about it again. People still ask if I regret the public reveal, if I should have handled it more quietly, maybe. But here's the truth. She wasn't going to handle anything quietly. She was going to let me raise another man's child, sign away 18 years of my life, smile in my face while emptying my accounts. No, I don't regret it. She wanted a party. She got a reckoning. And I got my life back. It's been 3 months since the last court date. I sold the house last week, packed the final box myself. One last walkthrough, one last glance at that now green-walled office. I stood in the driveway for a second, keys in hand, and realized I didn't feel loss. I felt light. New condo, downtown. Smaller, cleaner, no ghosts in the walls. My name on everything. No shared passwords, no secrets. Just mine. Started dating again. Slowly. Met someone through friends. Natalie. She's calm. She laughs with her whole face. When I told her about everything, the gender reveal, the paternity test, the nursery, she didn't flinch. She just said, "Damn, you walked out of the fire still holding the blueprint." I don't know what the future holds, but this time, building carefully. No illusions. No blind trust. Not jaded, just awake. As for Lisa, I haven't seen her since the court hearing. Last I heard, she's still living with her parents. The baby's healthy. The real dad pays support. They're not together. She posted once on a burner account. Someone forwarded me a blurry sunset photo with the caption, "Some people destroy everything because they can't see the love in front of them." I didn't screenshot it. Didn't share it. Didn't react. Because I've learned something. When someone shows you their plan, believe them. When they laugh about how easy you are to manipulate, don't wait for a punchline. When you catch a red flag, don't paint it white. I almost let someone rewrite my entire future, but instead, I exposed the truth with a projector and a cloud of blue smoke. She wanted a celebration. She got a legacy. And me? I got something better than revenge. I got free.